everybody, welcome to Roll and Keep, our weekly TTRPG live play, where this absolutely incredible cast, look at them, take a bow cast, hello, encounters an endless variety of adventures, worlds, and settings, all powered by Cortex Prime. Our current setting is Hammerheads, so think emergency first responders in a completely fictional near future of horrible climate change. Where there are calamities and disasters in the spirit of like movies like San Andreas, Volcano, or Tommy Lee Jones's Volcano. So any of those, 2012, all those great, phenomenal, ridiculous disaster movies. We have an incredible cast: Aliza Pearl, Mellie Doucette, Adam Bradford, Vanessa Guerrero. I'm Joe Starr, and our game moderator for Hammerheads is Cam Bank, the guy who literally wrote the book of the game that we're playing. I literally can't think of a better person. Again, I say this every week, but I'm so thankful to have you showing us the ropes and teaching us how to play. It's been super, super fun. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Cortex RPG. Make sure you're subbed and belled and all that good stuff on YouTube and Twitch at Fandom Tabletop. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you check out all the links in the description. We're live on Twitch every Thursday, and VODs drop on YouTube every Monday. And to thank you guys for tuning in live here on Twitch, we're giving away copies of Cortex Prime. Giveaways are triggered for heroic successes, which are 5 above the difficulty. If you're if you're just now joining us, and you don't really understand how Cortex works yet, you'll pick it up quick. And also for eliminating a crisis pool in Hammerheads. Again, you'll pick it up. That is all our business. And so, Cam, I'm going to hand this sucker over to you for our next episode of Hammerheads.
All right. So before we go straight into it, I want to give everyone a bit of a breakdown of who our team is. These are the Hammerhead agents of Hammerhead 2, the ship that still has no name. I don't believe we've actually nicknamed it yet. Did we do that last time? No?
No nickname yet.
Well, we'll have one before the end of the session, no doubt. So leading off the team, we've got Mellie, who was playing Nesting Doll. Anushka, will you introduce your character? And then we'll do the round table thing again, where you point to someone else to tell us who it is until you get back to me again.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm playing Nesting Doll, aka Anushka Bayatov, who is like an ex KGB Russian spy, now working for the good of everybody, using her hacking powers to help people instead. Aliza.
Hello, I am Aliza Pearl, playing Flourish, aka Micah Johnston. She is a retired ballroom dancer. She traveled the world doing competitions and teaching workshops. She even guested in a couple of series of Dancing with the Stars, so you would know her from that. She's 60 years old.
Wait, was she a judge or a participant?
She has done both.
Wow.
Got it. Of course she has.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Yes. She was on 4 seasons, so she kind of did a little bit of both. But yeah, you've seen her. And she likes the grandeur in things. She's a fancy lady who likes grand things. Let's go to Doolittle.
I love Doolittle because I love every classic bizarre 80s scientist who's so into their own work that they're not aware of anything happening in the world around them. She was an animal behavioral psychologist who worked mostly with African greys. She has Harold on the ship, who has saved Softboiled before, actually, which is how he got his name, because Harold is a very strong member of the team. And she's kind of learning people, and she's very team forward, which is why I like her so much. And her pitch for the ship name is Shippy McShipperson. And I'm gonna pass this on to Haymaker.
I am Adam. I'm VP of Tabletop at Fandom, and I am playing Haymaker, aka Hank Haddix, who is a former professional wrestler. And he has joined the Hammerheads because, unfortunately, tragically, in a wildfire, he lost the love of his life, which was his pet dog. And now he is taking revenge on all fires everywhere. So that's his story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, yeah. Joe.
It was so hard listening to that tragic background with all those jingle bells.
I know.
I'm playing Sam Butters, aka Soft Boiled, a nickname he did not choose for himself. Sam was Air Force rescue, a job that he parlayed into being an attorney, which he parlayed into being like sort of a one of those like crackpot fringe podcasters that sells you brain pills. And he does not particularly believe in this program. But my favorite characters, again, in disaster movies, are the skeptic that either gets what's coming to them or realizes that what they're doing really is beneficial to the world. Will he realize that, or will a building fall on him? I don't know. We'll find out. Cam Becky.
All right, and I am, of course, Cam Banks, your notorious game moderator for this lovely team. So we go live now to Carl Crossman, anchor for Global News Network, who we met last week. Carl, of course, interviewed Sam Butters on live TV to everybody, asking him questions about Hammerheads, the World Crisis Agency, what kind of reach they were supposed to have, their jurisdiction, fun things like that. Unbeknownst to the rest of the team, Sam had called in from the communications station on Hammerhead 2, just to, give his own thoughts on this. That never really got followed up necessarily. We had a crisis right after that, but now Carl is showing everybody what had happened in the previous week. We had an oil rig fire last time. This was very catastrophic, or potentially even worse than that, because the oil rig had cracks, the drill was experiencing trouble, there was a broken elevator, there was a substantial amount of frozen pizza on board the Hammerhead 2, which was brought in there. So we're seeing this live. Carl is talking about this. He's got eyes on the scene. They're talking to a few of these people who look like they were officials that were rescued in lifeboats. They got off the rig first. He made sure of them, scientists and admin. And these labor technicians, the people with all the overalls who do all the hard work and get covered in oil and grease, they were also saved too, which was good, because this particular host of Global News Network isn't necessarily on the side of Hammerheads, as you can kind of get. But the pictures don't lie, and you do see a lot of scenes from last time which you may want to single out as you're watching this from the safety of your Hammerhead 2 vehicle, which is now streaking through the sky on its way to its depot.
Oh, look, it's all those nice guys that stayed in Soft-Boiled's room.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate, look, I don't mean to be inhospitable, but my allergies are rough. And at least two of those guys, just a lot of Axe body spray. And I haven't gotten it out of the room yet. So just.
That stuff is really pungent if it's stuck with them through, an oil rig being on fire.
Oh, I think most of the ingredients of what happened at that rig are what they make it out of.
I'd be studying Axe body spray as a possible weapon.
Oh, could it be that that oil rig is actually a secret base for creating Axe body spray, a bioweapon?
It would explain the explosion and the intense fire.
This Axe body spray. Who owns company? Who is fund?
I mean, it's just like Axe, right?
It's not like Ascendant. It's just Axe.
Oh! Anushka's
my
asking the real
goodness.
question.
The Illuminati.
Okay. See, I need to start getting you on my podcast a little more. Ascendant. Yep. No.
You should. I'm very good guest on podcasts. I've been on several, and also I'm very popular. I don't talk about this very much because I use different name on there, but I'm very popular on 4chan. People really like my theories. They think it's good. And I've been trying to get more information on this Ascendant that we heard about on the ship. I think it's a real lead. It's
She's
really a
good on
thing.
Fortune. What does that mean?
4chan.
4chan. What
It's
is
the
4chan?
kind of website where people ask questions like whether or not wrestlers are real.
Like Ask Jeeves?
Kind of like Ask Jeeves, but like more aggressive.
Is it like Bing?
Imagine if Bing was bad.
Bing is horrible.
Not that bad.
So how
This
bad
is
could
already
they
pretty
be?
bad. I'm confused.
There's a going to commercial break now too, as Carl's shuffles his papers and puts them to one side. No doubt the next thing that comes up is an X-Body Spray commercial, which seems as if it was timed purely by the fact that you had mentioned it.
They're listening to us.
Flex,
Look at
man.
that.
You
I
get a
throw
ping,
my phone out the window.
Big data. Big data.
you get a ping on one of your personal devices, nesting doll, one of your little bot kind of tracking things that lets you know when things are going on and places you want to hear about, related to whatever you call the dark web in the KGB, or previously did. That's pinging you. You've got something going on there which you may want to follow up on. For the rest of you, you have come back from another mission which has not yet been on the TV, because obviously not everything you do is followed all the time by cameras. You're kind of winding down. It wasn't terribly difficult. It was just, saving a few people from a collapsing building, the usual run-of-the-mill material you deal with every day. But you have to make a decision when you get to the depot. You've been mandated some time that you have to take off. So it's probably about 48 hours. So deciding what you're going to do will be sort of weighed with the option of where actually is the depot located, for example. And I think we established last time you're kind of mostly West Coast America. But if you want it to be somewhere else a little bit more convenient for some excursion, you can let me know that too.
Got it.
One works for me.
All right.
How does are we getting to decide where our command center is?
Yeah. So the depot is like imagine like one of those Amazon warehouses that are all over the place. The Hammerheads depots are not known to the public. No one knows where they are. They're usually mostly underground, and when you land the Hammerhead somewhere, it's on kind of like a landing pad, and there's like an outbuilding and a fence around it. It looks like any other kind of governmental place that doesn't have anything much going on. But then the Hammerhead can go underneath the ground, and there's like a sort of a huge warehouse of resources. This is where all your big resource pools come from, the things you load onto the Hammerhead, where you replenish your supplies. There's also supply vehicles that fly around the world, kind of like following the jet stream, really, where you can hook up with them and get instant resupply or have them do airdrops if you need them. But this is your main place. And so you've also got rooms here which you've been able to look after. You can tailor them however you like. And there's a really nice area where you sit around and watch entertainment or television. It's got banks of screens and so forth, maybe a pool table. That's kind of where we started off last time. You were there, you got onto the ship and took off, and now you're on your way back. And again, World Crisis Agency does say, even though there are problems all the time, there are 2 other Hammerhead vehicles out there doing things, and so you're not alone. So they've given you this 48-hour period, which they say they won't interrupt with anything like a crisis, but who knows?
Awesome.
Well,
So are we doing Denver, Colorado, or like what city? That's my potential suggestion.
According to Google, the most relaxing city in the United States to live is Boise, Idaho.
See,
relaxing.
If you guys want the chill and relaxing vibe.
I vote for either Hawaii, the West Coast, or Canada based on the best 7-Elevens.
I was thinking West Coast as well. For some reason, Oregon, because I like trees.
I'm good with Oregon.
I can get behind Oregon, yeah.
I like Oregon.
Perfect.
Let's say it's the facility you've got is just outside Eugene. And so it's not Portland, it's not any of the major places, but it is at least somewhere civilized. And you can get to anywhere you want to. You've got that access to that kind of personal transport if you need it. You might have a Jeep or something in the hangar that you can jump into and grab. Now, the World Crisis Agency does pay you all the time, and it's a full-time occupation, but you have the ability to pursue other things in the spare time if you want, just like any lovely corporate arrangement. Or, sorry, I should say worldwide non-profit that's hidden and has secret funding. So let's go around and maybe just do a quick sort of check-in whether I think that Nesting Doll, you might be pursuing your lead, but is there something specific that maybe the others want to do? And you don't have to do it all by yourselves. You could join up with each other and do that. That's fine with me. I just need to know where you think you'll be for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I just found out that I'm off for the next 48 hours, and I'm going to be close enough to Portland. Get me the Blazers tickets. No, for both nights. Not just one night. No. Courtside, of course. Like, what do you think this is? All right, just make it happen. Thanks. Anybody want to go to a Blazers game? You got two options.
Me.
How many tickets do you have? Do you have enough tickets for all of us?
I don't know. Every time my agent buys the tickets, he buys like 10 or 15 of them.
I'll come to one game, I guess.
What is in Blazers? Is there any important people there?
Well, yeah, athletes are the most important people on the planet, right?
There's a large crowd, and I want to see how they behave.
Okay, that's one way to watch a game, I guess. What about you, Butters? You down for it?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
I'll
Play it
come.
cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, this sounds like half the party. I don't know what the other 10 people are going to be, but yeah, we'll do it up. It doesn't start until I think I don't even know. It's like 7:15 tonight though. So if there's anything that you want to do before then.
I do. I'm going to our server room or wherever I do all my work, and I'm going to start hacking indiscriminately. Our systems are pretty secure, being the Hammerheads. We've got a lot of we're not under a lot of oversight, thanks to the way things are set up, as Sam would dislike. And I'm just gonna do anything I can looking into Ascendant and looking into any connections with any government organizations. Nothing is safe from me.
No, that's what I imagined. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to imagine you want to be rolling some dice just quickly for this thing. I want to see how well or how badly you do. I'm going to put this on the screen here and throw in a couple of things. Mellie, you're quite used to this whole thing where I roll dice and you have to beat it. So I'll do this now. This is not a crisis pull. This is just me pulling this out here. Oh, wonderful. So, okay. You got to put together what you think is a good pool to accomplish what you're trying to do, and you need to beat a 13.
Okay. So definitely, it's gonna be my mental. These are all my good skills and my network specialist training package. Those are pretty easy to pull out there, and yeah, this is gonna tie into my life before. So I was, a Russian hacker here before, and that has some like SFX on it, doesn't it? Let me pull that up here. See if any of those are really, because I feel like 13 scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
If I may, I've followed Nesting Doll to the server room. Just because.
Want to help, Butters?
Oh,
I can teach you some things.
Yeah, if you need a hand, let's just say I'm curious, and since I'm here, just sort of tailing her because I trust her the least. She could get some help from me.
Yes, you might have ideas on where I can look, see, I'm interested, and I start like listing these like, not big political figures, but like minor political figures that I'm suspicious of, that you're probably more familiar with.
And
I want to get your advice.
Yeah, and I'm so interested in tripping you up that I'm like going along with it, but also getting very into it because we're kind of, I think, two sides of the same coin. So if that works for you, Cam, that gives her a D10 of my intense.
Yeah.
Distrust of her.
Intense distrust of her.
It's interesting, Nesting Doll, whenever Butters is around you and you're trying to be on your best kind of like technical level of a proficiency, somehow that annoying sort of scratch in the back of your head that is him, it does motivate you a little bit more than, it would maybe say motivate Haymaker or
Oh yes, even though I know, Hank says you are very like annoying and bad and you're not well trained for all of this, I think you're great. You give me very good ideas because you think it's so different from everyone. It's very good. I'm gonna roll. I got 3d10s and a d8 feels really good, so I'm gonna give that a roll.
Well, it's nice to be useful.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
Now, you do all have
Yeah.
one plot point to start the game with. This is an
And
early thing to start throwing plot points around that, but if you really wanted to, you could make that even better.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really want to get all that we can on this ascendant thing. So I'm gonna spend a plot point and add that extra 5 to make it a
Okay.
21, which steps up my D10 to a D12.
Which is your ideal outcome for this sort of thing. Now, I wanted just to quickly check here on Butter's character file. His network specialist, which is what we're using, is a D4. Like, you are so not equipped to look at the stuff that's coming up on the screen. Now, there's several screens in here, right? Nesting Doll, this isn't just like a little window with
Oh
you.
yeah.
This is the whole thing, right? This is the whole deal.
Yeah, so what are we looking at? Even though he's bad at this, he'd never admit it. Like, he'd never admit that he needs someone else to upload his podcast for him.
Oh
Yeah, so-
yes, so I mean, this one is Government of Oregon. This one is CIA Black Files. This one is these ones you can't understand, I'm sure, because it's all Russian. But over here, do you speak Farsi?
I'm rusty.
Well, then you can get some of this, and maybe you can just help me speed it up. Just start reading that one.
Get out of practice.
Look, I'm finding all of these connections. You just have to look for axe. You have to look for what was the name of the oil rig place we were at? This is the keyword.
Oh, what? Yeah, what was the name of the?
The oil place. That was the name that I've forgotten now from last time.
It was a place that we all know. Very familiar with it.
I think it was
Rig McRigferson.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's
That sounds very right. You should look for that. We have the city. The city we went to. The mayor you talked to is very suspicious. Pretty
Cortez,
sure all
yeah, Elwood.
connected.
Cortez City.
Yes.
Funny enough, that the reason why actually he is helpful in this is because while you're pointing all this out and getting your information together, Nesting Doll, there's a few of these things which are beyond even your specific kind of narrow scope of conspiracy, which just send flags up for Butters. It's stuff he's talked about that he thought was BS for real, but here it is being flagged on stuff coming up in English, right? And also over here on a sort of a Chinese screen, it's just all those characters. Every once in a while, you get those English characters and words in there too. Again, same sort of thing. You're seeing stuff here, Joe, that you are certain is putting things together, and you can help with that. So the outcome is a heroic success. You got a fantastic outcome there.
It's big brain stuff here.
Being a heroic success, that also does something for our chat. We've got that going over there, I think, is a worthwhile.
Yeah, it's exclamation point Haxer, but in a very specific spelling, so make sure to copy paste it.
Two things out of this that are important. One of them is that Ascendant is being talked about a lot on places which these sorts of things are discussed. They came out of almost nowhere. Like, they're a private contracting firm. Their reach includes everything from private military to political observation kind of stuff in third world countries, overseeing elections, all the kind of stuff you'd imagine some huge, big private contracting firm to not really be allowed to use their reach for. But what they're actually being known for more often is that they're kind of running insurance, especially corporate insurance, and especially covering disaster relief and making sure that anyone gets paid off properly in the right ways. And your information you're getting here, it's not complete because that they're really good at hiding it, but it's pretty good, is that they're diverting and funneling the stuff in all kinds of places to private interests that have almost no connection otherwise to the things that you're talking about. So the oil rig thing, someone benefited from that. Someone was benefiting from the fact that Mayor Elwood did not actually have his city properly prepped for an earthquake. Yeah, there's money being made in there in ways that you don't think are good. The
If you
downside of oh, sorry,
go
carry
on.
on. You're gonna go. The one thing that does also come out because you got a heroic success, you got that stuff, which is obviously very difficult to find and so on. But there's another thing. There's a name, and it's Aegis. Aegis is a code name for an individual who is quite active in this area, almost like a shadow version of you. And the thing is, you managed to take all the stuff and save it, like copy it, clone it, whatever. But as you're watching, you see it start to delete itself.
The nemesis. I tried to disconnect everything I can. And
yeah.
I've screenshots and saved as much as possible, but it's not good.
Because you didn't roll any hitches, you didn't have any side effects for this. I was waiting to see if you did anything came up. It would have been a problem. But you are so proficient at this kind of work, especially today, with Butters there behind you, breathing under your neck, that you could cover your tracks pretty well. So as far as you know, Aegis does not know you peeked behind the curtain, but it's now a name you're aware of that he or she or them are, scoping this out too.
Well, that was
See,
alarming.
Yes, I was right. I was so right. It all connects. Everything all connects. You just check the receipts and then you can. Did you see if there were any Blazers players in that were listed? Because maybe that's connected too. Can we trust Haymaker?
I mean, I think we're good with the NBA, and well, maybe not the owners. I don't know. Haymaker's probably good. He's interested in selling T-shirts and spreading good word. I'm worried about all this. I don't know. Look, a small individual company making money off of a disaster. Say you lose electricity and I sell a couple of flashlights. That's capitalism, baby. That's good for me. But one organization sort of, I don't know about that. That's some puppeteer off the grid stuff. I'm not sure. I don't like that at all.
No, it's very, very bad, especially if they are causing any disasters. Because with the rig, I mean, they were connected in very strange ways with some of the equipment and things going wrong. So, I mean, like, it's really bad. I need to find out what could be next. Where are we going to have to be next? Do you think I should? You said the people who run the Blazers. Should I hack them? Will they have the answer?
I tell you, I vote we take the focus off the NBA a little bit. I think the Blazers are. I don't know. We'll just go to the game, have fun, but let's keep this in the back of our head. And hey,
yes,
good work.
Back of our head. You got it.
All right, shifting ahead, the other three of you're getting yourselves ready and prepared. Anything special you want to do before you head off to the Blazers game there, Vanessa Doolittle? You've got anything prep that you want to do, or you just brushing up on what you know about basketball in general?
I think prep-wise, I'm probably gonna figure out how to make a tortilla pizza as an apology for Haymaker.
So yeah. Let me play that out. I was going to say, if you didn't have anything, Haymaker is still kind of like just lounging around, and then finally he's just like, I'm so hungry. Hey, Doolittle, you want to make me an omelet?
Unfortunately, I'm completely out of eggs because I tried to make a perfect one yesterday. And I don't really have anything else snacky either because I used it all up trying to teach a crow how to identify colors. But I think we can totally make something out of what's left in the fridge that tastes almost the same.
Sure. I'm not really picky. I mean, the only reason I keep asking for omelets, by the way, they're not my favorite thing in the world, but it is a very, very simple way for me to, compel you to want to cook for me because I know that you're obsessed with making a perfect omelet, and I unfortunately sometimes use that against you. So
It combines all of the powers of the egg, the cooking temperatures of the yolk and the albumin. It's amazing. Always ask me to make you an omelet.
Yeah, that's what I just said that I do.
I know, but like I don't have one right now. I was just encouraging it. But I checked the fridge and we have tortillas, string cheese. I think it's ketchup and something labeled Sam Butters do not touch.
Well, yeah, definitely raid that because I'm sure that's some fried chicken or something. I think that guy's like from Kentucky or something. I don't know.
I opened it and there
Mhm.
might be a different lab experiment happening in here.
It's he tried to cook a sweet potato mash, and cooking is not on his talent pool.
So it's more like a sweet potato disaster, which is probably appropriate for the Hammerheads.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a dangerous orange that someone might need to be rescued from.
Haymaker sees that it's sweet potatoes when she opens it. No, I don't do substitute potatoes. I only do the real ones. So
I mean, they're not. I mean,
I come into the kitchen at this point. What are we looking at for dinner? What is the situation, everyone? And also, I'm wearing a head to toe. Are we going to the game tonight? Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm wearing my game outfit, which is a gown, really great big flouncy shoulders and arms, plunging neckline, front and back, and a very flouncy flowing it's a skirt. It's very pink and it's like magenta pink and also has sequins, of course.
wow, Micah. Ooh.
Oh,
Man,
thank you. This old thing.
looking real nice. I want you to sit next to me while we're at the game. I don't know where everybody else is going to be, but you'll be really good for the cameras.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You know, I can't wear something like this when we're out on a mission, so I figure I'll just throw it on to go to the game.
it's the perfect outfit to make tortilla pizzas with us.
Are we making pizzas? That sounds fun.
With an
Wait,
asterisk.
Are we moving forward without the real potatoes?
Yeah, we're gonna talk later about like the differences between nightshades. But for
What is
now,
a nightshade?
it's
I once
fancy for
wrestled
potato.
somebody named Nightshade, and it was a whole gimmick. They were just dark and goth, painted their face like white, and they had black paint all over them. He wrestled way too long, and he was way too old when he finally retired. And then he came back even after that. But yeah, so Nightshade, not a big fan of that guy. So not sure what he has to do with us cooking real potatoes, but wanted to share that story with you. We can move along.
Now, is Haymaker leaving out the part where Nightshade managed to convince the owner of the Federation to let him win that particular?
Oh, of course, he
match?
didn't. He never talks about his losses.
All right, so with that dinner and things under the way, it seems as if whatever you're putting together is going to be successful. And this is a weird thing to ask you to roll for, so I won't do it. In that case, what I'll just say, Vanessa, just describe how amazing your tortilla pizzas are. Or if you want, you can choose not to have them be amazing. That's also... I will let you, in fact, make these not even remotely amazing and give yourself a plot point for it.
I'm gonna give myself a plot point because Doolittle likes it. To her, it fits everything that goes into a pizza anyway, because there's crust, and then there's sauce, and then there's cheese, and then there's something cut into a circle. So she's pretty happy with it. Flourish and Haymaker are not psyched with what she hath wrought.
So you see Haymaker just takes like a single bite, kind of stops for a moment, continues to chew it slowly, and then you see that he just looks at Doolittle and just kind of makes a face, and then he picks up his phone and is like, yeah, hey, we're gonna need some catering when we arrive at the game tonight. I would prefer, like, I'm not really good with this, like it can be pizza, like real pizza. Make sure you have real potatoes also and real cheese.
Ooh, and hard-boiled eggs.
Apparently we got a request for hard-boiled eggs. Micah, you know how this stuff goes. Like what are good, like I guess they call them finger foods or something. Like I don't really
Yeah.
do, like I eat
would-
everything with my
yeah.
fingers. So
I would imagine there would be a spread of some kind. They can do some type of like table with the spread, just like their standard spread. If they
yeah,
could have that ready for us.
table with a spread.
They'll know
No,
what
I'm
I'm
not-
talking about.
I'm not talking about mayonnaise.
No.
It's
Do,
not.
do they not? Here, give me the
Here,
phone.
yeah.
Do they not? Okay.
Thank you.
Hi. Have you worked with Harold of?
His name's
of,
Tony, by the way.
This is Tony I'm talking to?
Yeah, that's Tony. Yeah.
Hi, Tony. Do you know who Harold is? Harold is one of the foremost caterers in this area. Have you worked with Harold? I think it's called
Is she talking about the bird?
Is she
Fresh-
talking about my bird?
Fresh Finds Catering Company. You haven't? Okay. Well, Harold usually does a beautiful spread. You might just want to call Harold and have him tell you what his spread is. Or you could, you should probably work with Harold. I can't believe you're not doing a standard spread for, what do we have? Do we have a box, or where are we?
Yeah. This is a box, but then we also have courtside. So we can retreat to the box when we need to eat, which after this experience here with what Doolittle made, is going to be right when we get there. And then we'll come down courtside after that.
I have a
Okay, great.
suspicion also that, well, let's put it this way: asking them to do anything courtside might be a bit of a problem, given the fact that the last time they had to accommodate your specific needs at that level there, Haymaker. Did something else really bad happen?
Yeah. So all kinds of media attention, unfortunately, not because necessarily of my celebrity, but because of how spirited I get at the games. And so there might have been, concessions thrown. There might have been, moving out onto the court instead of staying to the side of the court, which is how you define courtside. And so, like the referees try to call technical fouls, but you technically can't get a technical foul if you're technically not part of the team. So, it definitely creates some problems.
Flourish, Tony is extremely grateful that you are on the phone, by the way. We'll say that having had many conversations, you can tell this is his agent. This is Haymaker's agent, Tony.
I know Tony. I introduced them.
Yeah.
Right. And it's sort of like, well, having had all this time away from you and having the benefit of talking to you, you can tell Tony's really been kind of starved for it, and so there's a long conversation that ensues where you'll do whatever you like. So that's all good.
Wonderful. So I hang up and I say, we will have a proper spread. Thank you for these lovely, very kind tortilla pizzas, though, Doolittle. This is very
Do you want the rest of mine, Doolittle?
No.
Because they say it's the thought that counts, but it's actually like the results that count. So I'm being thoughtful right now by letting you have the rest of mine.
I mean, I'll take them if not for me. Against I have to reward a crow that can now tell the difference between blue and green.
Excellent. Harold's going to eat great tonight.
I'll give you all opportunity after this. In fact, you can do it now. If there's anything on your relationship list, if you'd like to step one of them down or another one up, you'll have that freedom to do that, to reflect maybe if you've had some change of heart or maybe some change of intensity with other members of your team. This goes also for Nesting Doll and Soft Boiled. Your recent experiences may or may not have reflected somewhat on how you feel about them. This is not going to change what the statement is about them necessarily. This is just, would you rather have that D6 be a D8? Do you want to put the D10 down to a D8? What do you want to do? Don't feel like you have to do that. That's just an option. You can do that at this point.
Haymaker is absolutely going to put Flourish is dependable up to an 8 from a 6 here, because she came through in the clutch right here on the food spread. And then with that, I'm going to lower the D10 from Nesting Doll down to a D8 because Anushka gets so much help already.
Thank you. I get so much help. It's amazing. I also want to change mine. Based on recent events, I want to put Soft Boiled up to an 8, and I'm gonna put Haymaker to an 8. He still saved my life. I still care about him, but
yeah. So what are you dropping?
Suspicious.
Oh, it's Anushka. Sorry. This is all the kind of admin we love to do. Dropping that down to 8 and then dropping raising butters up to 8 too.
Off-boiled.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, folks, using our digital prototype in the cast, we don't have a way to do that yet. So we're going to have to note it and do it after the session. We'll
I
get
know
it ready
that,
for
yeah.
next time.
That's all good. So we'll move away from that. We'll jump ahead to later on. You've gotten yourselves off to the to Portland through quite a speedy means. I think you've got a quite fast way to get in there. You wouldn't take the Hammerhead itself unless you feel like you want to. Just drop that down into Portland and have it parked somewhere.
Haymaker's got a Humvee, the big giant Humvee, and he
There we
just takes on the street.
And it's about an hour and a
I
half.
grab the aux cable in the
Mhm.
Humvee to put on music.
Yay! I love it when nesting doll picks.
Oh my goodness! Actually, that's the thing. We need to get a playlist set up for you, Mellie, for the characters like this. All right, so the game goes pretty well. You've got everything that you had asked for. It seems like it was well placed in terms of the stuff that you had called for before their flourish. Tony actually is there. I mean, he has to be present whenever Haymaker goes out in public because there's a lot of damage control that he has to do. It's quite ironic that in his day job now, Hank goes out and saves people, whereas in his private life, he needs Tony to come and swoop up afterwards. This is also the first time the others get to meet him. Flourish, you've met him before in your sort of period of time. As you said, you introduced him to Haymaker, but the first
Butters knows him at this point too, at least a little bit. Met him a couple of times.
Yeah. They have a unique relationship, I would say, in terms of what Tony thinks of Butters. But he's a moneymaker, right? So that's always good.
So, hey, Tony, I want to introduce you here to Anushka and B. They are part of our Hammerheads team.
Great. Is this something of national security I need to put in my list? Do I have to have on my second phone? Or
No,
is
just
it okay
say hello to them,
Yes,
Tony.
yes, you should. Come here really quick. I will just quickly do a pair phone, and I will just send you all the information.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Tony, she's about to hack you.
Yeah.
She's
Look,
just
I had to get my
constantly-
kids to help me the last time we had an upgrade, so I don't know what's going on with that. Look, maybe just
How is
leave-
little Joey? Doing okay?
Well, he's come down again with another one of those problems where the people online keep telling him he's not good at playing that game he always plays. But I guess he won $500 yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe he has to put up with it.
Well, is it new Master 69 again? Because look, if I need to chime in on that, I will.
Last time he did that, I mean, we ended up with a broken console. And I had to get that taken out of my own expenses, if you recall.
Oh, well, you should have passed that on to me. I can pay for that. That's fine.
No, I'm doing all this stuff for you. Look, who has the purse strings, honestly? Who has the purse strings here, Hank?
I
So
do
no,
have a question, Tony.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi, I'm
You're an
Tony.
agent?
Yes, I'm an agent.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what an agent does. So you get 20% for Flourish and Haymaker doing stuff.
Well, I'm a little also like a manager. And if you want to, the difference between an agent and a manager is very different and very important. Sometimes Hank keeps thinking I'm an agent, but I'm technically a manager, which means he goes on this long
spreads.
thing.
He makes spreads, B. Like,
Oh, he's a caterer.
yeah.
Well, he gets us tickets to things. He introduces us to people. We introduce him to people.
And he says, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Looks like it's going to start. You guys better go get your seats. I've got some things to do. Miss, I'd love to talk to you more about my phones. If I can just
Yes.
have a moment later on after that with this, because I've got this thing keeps flashing up, says please fix. I keep touching it, and then my bank balance goes down as I do it. Is that a problem?
Perfect. Let's go right now. Actually, I will meet you all out in the game space.
You better not have my money on that phone.
No. This is some other client of mine. You know that, by the way, Hank. He only has one client right now, and it's you. So,
Man, Tony's kind of acting shade. Micah, what do you think's going on right there?
He is acting strange.
I guess we need to keep an eye on that.
You
Flourish,
need to
No.
look anyone in the eyes.
Flourish, did Tony ever look into merchandising opportunities for you?
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I was with him briefly before I signed with CAA, and no, he never. We never
Do
got
they
to
have
that
like
level.
Air Jordans for ballroom dancing?
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be some kind of dance product that they can slap your name on. Because I helped Tony with Haymaker's deal with the Haymaker Waymaker. It's a whey protein smoothie system, and I mean he's made a fortune off of it.
They had to, but they had to take it off the market recently because
I mean,
they
in
started-
some countries, they had to take it off the market. But you know that's just the government not letting free capitalism and free enterprise work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. North America, United Kingdom, those countries.
Yeah.
just a couple of major sicknesses. Only one
Everyone
death.
else uses it like a fire retardant.
Look, some people get sick and some people get ripped. It's
Some people use frozen pizzas as fire retardants, apparently.
It was one time. It was an accident,
not gonna let you forget
and
it
it's
though.
not my fault. Fair.
Nesting Doll, Tony does go off to one side with you and sort of pulls you to a side and he says, I hope you don't find this to be a little inappropriate, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Hank. I know you're obviously a work colleague of his.
Oh, yes, we are very, very, very close. You could tell me anything.
Yes, it's something about this alarming. You know how I have to filter through a lot of his emails and his messages. His fans still send things to him. We get things in the mail. I've got a storage unit back there in Portland. It's just outside the city. It's got so much stuff in it. There's just packs it. I mean, look. I mean, it's one thing to get lots of swag from people who think he'd love to get it. He doesn't want to see half of it, and I just have to filter it out. But lately, I'm getting more of these digital things. Like, I don't know, they think now that you can just give someone a code, and that seems to be sufficient for people to be happy with. I'm getting these things now from people who are trying to get to him. Since he signed up with your unit, though, he seems to be a little bit more protected from that kind of thing. So I'm good with that, but I'm getting stuff that I wanted you to run over.
Oh, no problem. Here, give it to me. I'll fix any problem you said it was running weird or something. I just grabbed the phone and I'm just gonna start going through right away.
His cover story that it was another client is obviously bogus, and it was something to say in front of Haymaker to make him feel like it wasn't a big deal. But no, there's an active sort of hack effort to try and get to his backstory. Everything about Hank's personal life is someone's been trying to get there through phishing attempts and all kinds of things, because there's this barrier between him and with Tony in between. It's going to Tony, and you can see his phone is filled with malware. Like, it's just heavy with it. It's you almost want to just toss it, right?
Well, taking a look too, do I get like a sense, oh, this is definitely like similar to the little bit I saw from Aegis just earlier today, like that same style?
Yeah, and what I will do, because you've already had some experience with it, I'll let you put that D12 that you rolled before into your roll here. But it's going to be pretty hard. This guy is doing a good job of covering up. And I know I'm making you do all the rolls, but for the moment, it's going to be beneficial for the whole team. Oh, I only got 7, so that's not going to be hard for you.
Ooh, excellent. That's what I love to see.
Well, you've got all right here. Like, it's right there in front of you on a little screen with a very primitive. It's about 4 updates old, his phone system.
Excellent.
It's also got about 9 different games on it that he didn't put on there, but probably Jerry did.
Awesome. So while I'm like going through this, I'm trying to kind of do some like identification, but also I kind of want to like put on like copy over to my phone things that are important and relevant, and then like clear sensitive things away and like replace them with dummy files that I have like, a log of in my own device, and just like set up like a little honeypot for Aegis to enjoy. So let's throw in my mantle and my network specialist. This is all my
Yeah, I
good
know
stuff.
it's a bit weird because he's not directly helping you, but you can put your relationship with Haymaker in there because no doubt, in a way, he's kind of assisting.
So I can have my D12 and I can have my relationship with Haymaker.
Which
This
is
is
yeah,
gonna be so
eight
good.
now after the pizza and
That's
spread
okay.
incident. Yeah.
All right. I think this is though. I'm a little like excited about this. Like, oh, I'm gonna get this person. I'm so good at this. So I'm gonna hinder my PRX KGB and take a plot point because
Sounds
that's a lot
good.
of good dice. It's a good time to do
Yeah.
it. All right. Rolling the dice.
And obviously, whenever you start doing things like playing with hinders, you're just asking fate to come at you with that kind
I
of
mean, I
stuff.
got a
All right.
3 on my nice hinder die. It's just that 10 that did me.
What you did though, there was 2 heroic successes out of that. That's pretty-
Double heroic success.
Gotcha, 18, double heroic
Giveaway
success.
in the chat.
Is that exclamation hacksaws again?
We'll see what Aaron Lore and Source, our 2 amazing superstar mods, put in there. It'll take me a hot sec.
So you pick up a D10. I'm going to give you a plot point as well for that. When we're not doing crisis pulls, I can throw plot points at you in willy-nilly, but once we get into the meat of it, it becomes a crisis situation. But for right now, you got that plot point from that too. So that should be 3 you have now, right? Because I've got 1 for
2. I
activating
spent
your
1 earlier.
1 for the hitch and 1 for your D4.
Yeah.
Or you spent 1 before. That's right, you did. But you're going to acquire a complication to D10. You actually now think you did the best thing you could. You've now shielded Adam from this. Adam's got a D12 since you stepped at 8 up to 12 with those 2 heroic successes. You can give that D12 network firewall to him, and that we can have that. That can be persistent for a while until it gets used for anything. But what I do want to point out though is that you've got the D10. You think that somehow that just twigged Aegis to your presence. Not necessarily you, but someone trying to step in and be helpful to keep Haymaker from it. But with that level of heroic success, I mean, not only did you put enough things in the way that this guy is going to never find anything more about Haymaker than he wants you to find out, you also got the interesting sort of tidbit. It's unlikely that he's the only person he is looking to try and find scoops about. Probably the entire team may be a target that's kind of snooping. So while they're down there, I think you're all up in the box right now enjoying a bit of pre-game food, which is no doubt super good for those of you who didn't like tortilla pizzas. Vanessa, Doolittle notices that there's also the right combination of proteins, carbohydrates, and other kinds of important nutritious things in what they've laid out, but it maybe wouldn't be the way you'd do it.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that everything just kind of, they said it was a lot of finger foods, but they're on big spoons that I don't quite understand. They're not the most like portable or holdable things. So I'm just gonna kind of lunchable this nice little spread and just kind of stack everything on each other based on what fits the most and is the most nutritional value. So that means this hard-boiled egg is definitely gonna be the nice little protein bomb that's needed on top of this mini cupcake.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Any commentary on that, Adam?
As she is thinking, just literally in her head, that this doesn't look like finger food, she sees that Hank comes into the room. Hey, everybody. Oh, okay. Micah outdid herself here. Tony, you did all right too. Thanks for that. And I just start just scooping everything up with my fingers. And you notice that it is a heavy concentration in the meat and cheese area. But then I am systematically working myself around to the mini cupcake. And then I eventually see that she's putting the egg on top of the mini cupcake. And I just catch her her glaze, maybe that too, if it's a cupcake, her gaze. And I just look at her with incredible scrutiny. And we just lock eyes for a good 30 seconds until it's almost uncomfortable. And I just shake my head and turn around and walk away.
It's protein. You need it for your vanity muscles.
I had plenty of protein with everything else that I ate. You can't mash these things together. I mean, chocolate and peanut butter go together, or cheese and bread go together,
Hot
or
dogs and
cheese
peanut
and
butter,
wine,
grape jelly and
or
eggs.
cheese and milk, or cheese and but you can't do things like put an egg on a cupcake. Everyone knows that.
Okay, but how do you explain a McGriddle?
He's got you there, man.
Yeah, I got nothing on that. I got nothing.
There's no
There's-
laws.
There's some media people around, by the way. Every once in a while, media people walk by in the back behind the boxes, just trying to get their own little like scoop if they can find one. There is someone. Her name is Callie, and she is from Global News Network. She does sort of the sports commentary when it's necessary. Doesn't get a lot of airplay. You've seen her once or twice before when something scandalous happens. That's the kind of stuff I like to cover. She walks by, and then she sort of sees you all gathered in there. Locks eyes on Softboiled, who was in there sort of like sampling a couple of things. You don't necessarily find everything you want, Joe, but it's enough. Locks eyes on you and sees you, and you're like, oh no, it's Kelly Rodriguez, and she's gonna come in here and ask me questions about whatever.
Sam's just got like a little whiskey. He's wearing his let's call it his Joe Rogan casual. He's he's got like his black affliction shirt on, and some of those what are they, the Revtown jeans that are like jeans but also sweatpants at the same time. Yeah, just sort of like having, and just sort of like trying to avoid eye contact. And
yeah, but she's got your numbers. You know that she sees you in there. Now this is like those things where it's like the big glass frontage, right, looking down over the thing, but behind it, it's kind of like a row of little windows like this.
right.
So she's sort of looking in there. Micah, you also see this attention from this person who you don't necessarily know because you don't watch some of the same segments on GNN that maybe Butters does, but you think that she's definitely some sort of reporter or journalist. You want to use the opportunity to try and correct some of the things that have been said, or do you want to let this person continue to plague Butters in this way?
I feel like maybe unfortunately Micah is not the type of person to willingly correct in a public way. So unless this reporter like wants to talk to her, she probably wouldn't. She's been around long enough to know like when to look for the spotlight and when to just be like, nope.
And Haymaker does not have any of that subtlety. And so if Haymaker sees the reporter sniffing around with Butters, he's gonna, hey, Cindy, that's your name, right? Cindy? We've met before, right?
You open like the door.
Did we do more than meet?
It's Kelly from GNN. Kelly Rodriguez.
Oh, Kelly. Yeah, I knew that.
Oh boy.
Hey, Kelly, how you doing?
Micah is listening to this exchange with all the reactions, all the facial reactions.
Yeah, and Sam just like gives Micah a look, just like, here we go.
So Kelly, how's it going?
I'm imagining the rest of you are in the room itself. Like it's not lit up. It's quite dim. I mean, it's got that whole thing where it's about to start. Maybe you got 2 or 3 minutes before the game begins.
You can come on in if you want to and get some spread.
Oh, I was thinking that maybe I could talk to Sam Butters. Just from we had some follow-ups. I'm not.
What do you need with that guy? Like,
well,
listen.
Do you have anything to say? Sure, I'll come in.
I can tell you, and at this point in time, Haymaker, it takes a few for this to happen, but he's definitely a little inebriated. And so he just simply says, you do not need to talk to him. He is a liar. Everything he said the other day was just trumped up, ridiculous. I don't even know why he was on the air.
Oh,
Oh wait, are we filming this?
Oh, you could ignore Mike. He's fine. He's just testing his equipment out.
I see the red light though, like flashing.
Yeah.
Like
Mike's like,
oh, okay. All right. Well, as long as it's turned off, that's fine.
yeah. No, it's complete. That's off, isn't it,
No,
Mike?
listen, I like Butters. He knows what he's doing. He definitely knows how to get you out of like, tight spaces like lawsuits and, the back of a Volkswagen. But ultimately, he's just a liar. He's just a pure and total liar. Everything he was saying the other day is completely off base.
Oh, okay. So
that's just off the record. So
right off the record. So completely off the record. You describe yourself maybe as the team leader.
Oh yeah. I'm at least the leader a good bit of the time. We kind of elect a new leader each crisis, depending on who has the most expertise in whatever the situation is. And when you're someone who's used to the limelight like myself, a lot of times you end up getting those votes, and it's just a responsibility thing. And I have a great sense of responsibility for the people of the world, and I kind of love everybody in it, and I just want everybody to, I thank God for being able to be elected leader as frequently as I am.
That's really good. Well, maybe you could, maybe as a follow-up, I know that our viewers, if we eventually get to an interview of some kind, I'd like to explore more of that. But maybe you can give me some feedback. Tell us more about the whole problem that happened at the Civic Center with the mayor and Sam Butters. I mean, we were told that was a good relationship, and that he went in there and sorted the whole thing out, solved the problem with the mayor's. Well, I think everyone's talking about the dismal handling of that crisis with that city.
I mean, listen, Cindy, listen, I'll tell you this, like
that's Callie.
Mike's like Kelly.
Mike's like, don't. Oh yeah. Carry on.
Oh wait, is he filming right now?
No, Mike. That's if you figured out the battery yet. Yeah, just can't figure this out. I wish it was going because
I'm already bored of that. But listen, like I don't know what happened with Butters while he was in that building, because he goes off by himself all the time too. None of us ever know what he's doing, but he goes off by himself all the time, and I have no idea what went down in that building. But what I can tell you is that we had agents. We have Micah Johnston, we have Anushka, and I can't really pronounce her last name, sorry about that, but you can like fact check that somewhere probably. And then we have Doolittle, and I think it's Beeman. Like, how many drinks have I had right now? Anyway, so all of these fine agents are doing great work saving people. They got people evacuated from that city. I got my back just completely ripped to shreds, and you see at this point Haymaker's taking his suit jacket off, and he's like untacking his shirt. He's like, you see that right there? Like that happened during that, and I put my body on the line in order to save some people. And that's what the Hammerheads do. We put our lives on the line where other people don't have to do that. And I just thank God that we have the opportunity to do that.
So while you were showing off this, your battle scars, such as they are, does anyone else want to sort of jump in, or are you all doing the hiding your faces thing?
They're all enjoying the train wreck.
I am not going to intervene. I'm just continuing to trade looks with Butters. And I also kind of in a mid-tone voice, so whether or not Haymaker can hear me is his choice, I say to Butters, why is it that whenever either of the two of you talks to the press, you just dig yourselves deeper and deeper? Why? Tell me why.
What were you saying there, Flourish? You were saying, yeah, like it dug really, really deep. Yeah, like she's saying, like the shrapnel, like really, really got me. I've kind of got most of the feeling back.
Yeah, Mike, the guy behind with the camera guy, he's just sort of like just angling it a bit so he can take some good shots of that. And then he like puts the camera up, and he's also got his phone out, and you can tell he's just taking shots of the room with his phone. It is not subtle.
I lean into Doolittle. I'm like, Doolittle, were you aware that she's also producing a larger project for her network on the behavior of Eastern European birds.
Birds?
Yeah, mating rituals, communication, all that. So if you just want to give her the download of anything you just happen to know, I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
I mean, would our guests enjoy an egg cupcake?
You should definitely put one up to her face. She's got sort of a rough sense of smell, so the closer you get it to her, the better, probably.
So Doolittle trots up over to the reporters.
Oh, hey, B, and Haymaker, like, kind of puts his arm around it. This is one of those fine agents I was telling you about.
Hi, how's it going? Egg cupcake?
I don't know whether I've had that before. So you're working with Hang Haddocks here. You're part of this team too. You're all part of this team.
Yeah, we're all part of the same team.
Do you feel that do you vote for him to be the leader all the time too? He was telling us just now that he's got the most experience being a team leader and that you all do a good job for him.
Well, I mean, she was the lead on the last one because it was like an oil rig fire and it was a better idea that she did. But then she did throw all the frozen pizzas out the bottom of the ship.
Yeah, but I made up for it with the egg cupcake and the tortilla pizza. But yeah, my thing is mostly birds. Hank is usually the leader because I usually like what Hank's votes are, and Hank usually votes for Hank, so that's an easy one for me.
Oh, and you remember that time? Do you remember that time, Doolittle, when everybody was out of the ship and the parrot was piloting? That was so wild.
Yeah.
Like the parrot saved everybody.
Eyebrows go up.
Harold is incredible.
Are you getting
this?
He
gets me on like a deep level. Like I feel like he's staring into my soul sometimes.
He's a really good listener. Why do you think I spend all of my time with him? It's why I let him just pilot the ship sometimes. I don't tell you how much he actually pilots the ship, but the answer is a lot. He thinks it's a video game.
That makes sense.
And this is a multi-million-dollar vehicle that you got this bird flying. Is that right?
Oh, I think it's like $1,000
bird.
right?
Yeah, it's like $1 billion.
Oh, so even the bird costs a lot of money. That's really interesting. I'm sure that would be good. At some point, we should talk about this on air and maybe get that story.
Yeah, we can do it. Listen, like some of that's probably going to be off limits if we're.
I mean, when's it going to go on air? Since you've got that red light blinking.
What?
Oh no! Mike's just testing out the.
Are they filming this?
Yeah, they're absolutely filming.
Oh look, the game.
All right, I'm going to need that, and Hank starts to move towards the camera.
So she says, "Oh, the game's starting. Don't worry, we'll just let you go to that." And she's going to try and get us.
I'm going to need that camera. Hank is trying to get the camera out of.
He's using his phone too.
Okay, I'm going to need the phone too.
I'm going to put together this. This is this, and this is this, and this. All right.
On the plus side, Micah, I probably don't need to do any news anymore myself.
All right, so Haymaker, you got to beat an 11. I got an 11 to try and keep that from.
That's pretty good. I would imagine either crowd control or tactical response. Will that apply?
Crowd control. Crowd control probably is what you're talking about.
Okay, that's fine.
Response. I mean, if you really wanted to go into it with Mike, the cameraman, then you could. But I'm talking about, he's a weed. He's not going to be able to put up with it.
I'm going to pull in Doolittle helping me here because she absolutely is to tell me about the phone also. So
how much do you give him there, Doolittle? Your relationship to him.
My relationship to him is, I find Haymaker very funny, so it's an 8 because he's good for a laugh.
Yes. All right, that is so applicable. All right, and I'm probably spending a plot point because it's very important to me because I'm probably going to get fired if this doesn't happen. What do I need to declare that right now, or what is my best option?
It depends on what you're spending it on. If it's to keep an extra die that comes after you roll. Is there a special effect you want to use on your sheet? We haven't done a whole lot of that.
Possibly. Let's see. I'm using my life before, so let me see here. Step up, add a d6. That probably is not very fair since we don't have a crisis pool right now. So yeah, okay. No. I will I'm gonna step up my physical then to a 12. It says I can do that, right?
Yep, with a plot
Okay.
point.
Spending the plot point, and I'm going to step you up to a 12. All right, let's see how this goes.
Oh,
What did you get? An 11?
Oh, I got 11.
Unbelievable. Look at this hitch on a 12.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is great. I'm just imagining how this is. So first of all, there's not any way for you to get that 9, turn 11. You've got no spare dice. So it's just
And I
gonna
have
be
no plot points left.
nope. And you got hitches on 2 dice, one of being a 12. So okay. Here's how this plays out. I mean, first of all, how about you describe it? I'm going to tell you there's going to be a complication from this, and the complication is very likely related to you having said a bit too much. It's going to be something that's going to stick around. Knowing that you aren't going to be successful getting that camera off mic, what do you do that backfires?
Ultimately, I'm trying to just kind of physically get the camera from him, but then like he moves a little quick, and then a couple of other people from security get in the way. And again, physically, Hank knows he could overpower them, but he's finally like, maybe that's not the best idea to suplex the security guard. And so he kind of stops, but at the last moment, he takes his drink in his little unmarked cup there and like slings it at the camera and just tries to like soak the camera at this point. And so like hopefully like at least some of that is damaged, but then he absolutely still has the phone and everything that was said on the phone because he can't get to him. And then Hank finally is just like, okay, I'm calm. And then he comes back to Doolittle and just says, I mean, seriously, like, I don't think I said anything too bad, right? Like, you were here for that whole thing.
I was here for all of it, and all of it is probably not great for us to have out there.
Why is that? What did I say?
It's not so much what you said, it's everything we said.
Oh, that you said too. Yeah, definitely your fault as much as mine.
Just gotta put that off on there.
I'm
And
gonna chalk that up to inebriation.
You hear that whole the music comes swelling up and the game's going off there, and it's starting to drown out what you're saying. Mellie and Aliza and Joe as well. You're all kind of like a little bit far from this, seeing this whole thing play out in almost like slow motion train wreckage. But
Well, am I
he's
here?
lost his opportunity to get that back. The Kelly and Mike from GNN have vanished. They're off. Where the secret place that journalists go when they're being pursued by the people they're trying to hide their stuff from, and so the game begins. We'll skip over that because a basketball game will be maybe a potential Cortex setting in the future. But just for the short term, let's tell me, Adam, does Hank have another loss tonight because his team blows it, or does he actually have a moment of joy seeing them clinch it?
So yeah, we'll say that the Blazers are in a rebuilding year, and it's not going very well at all. And so Hank, though, anyone who looks closely enough, and of course, even the commentators as the camera is getting some of the celebrities that are courtside are noticing that he is far more laconic than he normally is, and it's just like he keeps asking people, and he finally because again he wanted Micah to sit next to him because she was dressed to the nines and looked great, and just like, did you hear that that stuff that they caught on the camera earlier?
Oh, I heard every single word of it.
I mean, it was all right though, right? Like, Command's not going to get too upset about that.
Haymaker.
I mean, listen, I had a few, but
Hank, my dear.
they said it was off the record.
But I mean, you know how the press is. They will do anything they can to get the juiciest little tidbit and then spin it into something that is even more of a tidbit.
Well, what are you laughing about, Butters?
Oh man, you just I got plenty of free time now, man. You you just did my job for me for at least the next couple months. I appreciate you. I owe you a drink. What you
I mean,
drinking?
what does that mean? Like, I feel like, you've got some double meaning going on there.
What do you mean, Butters? Butter? Is it butter or butters?
Oh,
Nobody knows.
It's well, that's not true. People know it's butters, multiple butters. Look, man, all I'm saying is I at least wanted the public to start asking some questions about the program, and y'all went full. There's a bird driving the ship, so. Whew.
Not a bird, Harold.
It's a
Harold.
very
Cognitive dissonance
trained
before
bird.
Harold. Yeah. And also, I offered them a snack. I was polite.
Listen, I have on my social profiles, it says opinions are my own. So they can't do anything to me.
It's legally binding. You're right.
Legally mine.
But speaking
And it's
of
universal. It's universal for anything you say. Opinions
Yes,
are your own. It's true.
speaking of your phones and your profiles, I need everybody to please give me all your phones and communication devices of any kind. And then just while we're on the ride back, I'm just going to, delete everything on them. It'll be fine.
Everything all right?
Why couldn't you delete what they filmed earlier?
I hadn't eaten like all day, and there were these little cupcakes. They were really good.
That's why you needed the protein on it. It's more filling.
I'm not sold on egg cupcake yet, but cupcakes. I also still have some. The icing fell off in pocket, but if anybody wants, while I look at your phones, I will trade you cupcakes per phone.
Hey, listen, I've got some photos on here that I want to make sure that I hold on to. So, like, we're not talking factory reset, right?
Yeah, can we back up our files before you do this?
I can back up files for you. I don't trust you all necessarily to do it very good, and it's very important, okay?
Okay, fine. As long as you back things up. Here you go. Here's my phone.
Speaking of trust, did Butters just tell us that he wants us to fail, just outright? I knew that this little squirrely, shifty bastard was trying to get up to something, but I'm pretty sure he just admitted it to all of us.
Oh, it's his defining
he-
characteristic.
Yeah, pretty much says that every day.
Oh, I thought it was just funny joke.
Yeah.
No one's surprised.
As
Every
Nesting
day.
Doll goes by for the phones, I just hold up my Razr flip phone and I'm like, no need. I'm lo-fi, baby.
So those of you who do have phones that are capable of getting messages and social media on them suddenly get notifications that start going across. Now I'm assuming the game's done. You're on your way out to
They lost badly, yes.
Yep. You're making your way to the car or sort of leaving the box area and so on. You did not necessarily spend much time courtside, Adam, because of the potential for that being a little bit worse. But anyway, there are fans, but you skip past them. But your phones are going off. And now, Nesting Doll, you've got your own flags that crop up when things happen relating to World Crisis Agency or disasters and things. This is different. This is a different kind of disaster. There is a flood on social media of snippets of just short movie clips and several other things that are leaked, and it hasn't been leaked. It's all out there, and this is multiple shots. There's still pictures of Haymaker sort of throwing a big cup of soda at the cameraman.
It's not soda, but yes.
But even you got plenty of these sorts of things, and it's lighting up social media right now. You've got hashtag Scammerheads is one of the things that's been going on there. And then Haymaker goes haywire, and lots of things. It's a disaster of a different kind, and so you're currently dealing with this. We could call it a social media disaster.
Oh boy.
Our crisis pool is a smoke. And as this is all going on, before he hands over his phone to Anushka, he's just like, look, it's fine, everybody. It's fine. And he keeps pointing to the about in his profile that says opinions are my own. It's fine. Like the company is not liable.
So I'm going to place this, I'm just doing a quick crisis pool for this. I mean, it's something you can probably deal with. In fact, the long-term consequences might stick around for a while. But for right now, the actual downside is it's starting to overtake some of the careful media presence that you've tried to do, which is almost none, right? It's the hands-off is the best thing. Don't say none, don't do none, the kind of thing. Drawing attention to this, the World Crisis Agency, who moves at the speed of like not much, when they get wind of this, it might be a problem. So the first thing that comes to mind is who's your team leader when dealing with this? And you haven't got your hammerhead with you, so you can't call that, but you could, and I will tell you this, you could call an airdrop over a resource pool, one of them if you want, and you can get 3 dice if you want to pull one of those in.
I nominate Nesting Doll because she is the most technologically savvy person among us.
I also nominate Nesting Doll because Nesting Doll showed me how to set up an Instagram for Harold.
I nominate Nesting Doll or vote for her or whatever, because I definitely should not be the leader for this crisis.
Yeah, weirdly, since suddenly Nesting Doll is like Sam's closest friend on the team, he kind of nudges her and is just like, I mean, it can't be a coincidence that you saw that crap earlier and then we get blitzed by the media.
I'm just holding a pile of phones. I know what I'm doing. I don't know. I delegate my leadership to Softboiled. You do your talking and stuff. I can do this, and you figure out what everybody else should do. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not the good kind of talking.
Yeah, we don't need him to talk about it. He just said he wants us to fail.
So the team leader is
Apparently every day.
It's quite obviously, in this case, it's whoever gets to choose who goes next, but it's also for the visual side of it, having you coordinate it, even though you're not on the front facing, probably is okay for either of you for that. But I will tell you, give a quick breakdown. This is going to be a 3d6 pool. It's not that big. You can probably take care of it. However, you do have the side effect of a d12 social media disaster complication that's applied to everybody. And I can absorb that into this if I want to, but for right now, it's causing a problem for Haymaker. So the way that we want to present this is you all have the opportunity. You're outside. This is downtown Portland, where the stadium is, the arena. You've got people all around you. There are numerous approaches you can take. You can try and find other network people from different competitive networks. You know, if you go to find different news agencies, because they're all around. I mean, they had this big game and it's just done. So you've got the press pool. You could try and tackle the press pool. You could also try and tackle it from a network point of view, go online, do some sort of disaster management of your own through that method. Or you can pull on contacts and other people you might know in other circles that might be helpful. And again, I will totally allow you to make up some other sort of approach if you want to take it down there. So you got the press pool, you got the networks, you got your contacts. And a 3d6, but also a d12 is going to go in there probably the first time I get a go. So when you are choosing who goes next, you can choose me as the crisis, and then I will probably spend my turn the first time absorbing a d12 into it. So taking it out a little earlier might be good.
So, I mean, who is this person? Kelly?
I think
Kelly
it was Cindy, right?
We need
No,
to
it
figure out
was Kelly.
who she is. We need to delegitimize her. Yes, make it so that it, so I can look up her. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's so
Flourish,
distasteful,
Haymaker,
though.
Softboiled. You have social media presences.
Hang on, if you want to take the wind out of Kelly, you just go on John Gannady. He's the hour right after her.
Hmm.
And the even craziers that follow the network, lockstep. I got a direct line into a studio. I give one call for me. I'm on.
Interview. Perfect. Yes, get on that. And I'm going to delegate for Sam to go first.
All right, now just as a reflection of the timing on this, we're going to have this basically in real time, not real time, but in terms of how long these roles will take. You have maybe about an hour to try and mitigate all of this. So what you do could take a little longer in the game time. That's fine. We'll just say, like, if you want to do an interview, that's a good thing to do. You can actually say, have that happen and not like pull from someone else's time in terms of it. So you've got about an hour or so before this crisis pool gets out of control. So did you nominate Joe to go first then, Mellie?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Joe.
All right.
You're lucky. You don't have to deal with the D12. That's just Haymaker. But for right now, you got 3 D6s.
Okay. That I'm up against.
Yeah. I mean, you're all. I guess you can be at the Humvee now or near the parking lot. But like I said, there's a lot of people out there in the streets, kind of the courtyard or area of street outside the arena that are good to talk to if you had, another approach you wanted to take. You can call Gandhi right on your phone.
Yeah,
Or you could ask someone to get it.
I'm just gonna get in my direct line, and as I'm sort of on hold to respond to Haymaker being less than thrilled with me, I'm just like, look, I've just been playing devil's advocate. It's what I do. A professional wrestler, a ballroom dancer, a Russian hacker, and whatever kind of human being Doolittle is. The people have a right to know. Like, what is this? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna blow up in our face?
You know, the thing that they need to know, Sam, that they really, really need to know is whenever they are going about their normal lives and tragedy strikes, that somebody's going to be there to save them from it. And that's what we are time and time again. And so, sure, we might be a little rough around the edges. Sure, some of us might not make much sense. And he looks over at Doolittle at that point. Is like, and basically that's what they need to know is we're going to be there for them. And I guess the thing, I'm kicking myself right now because, someone drugged my drink or something. And, I said a few of the wrong things and they're going to lose sight of what's really important here.
All right. So Butters is on the line with Gandhi. He is yelling about all kinds of things, calling into this whole conversation, some stuff that, Joe, you don't even think you've heard him talking about before. He's getting fed some talking points, right? These are the things that they've prepared at their workshopping behind the scenes. But you can kind of pierce through that if you roll this well. What's your pool going to look like when you're putting together?
Okay, so here's what my pool is going to be. I'm going to use my social.
Yep.
Which is a D8. I'm going to go with legal specialist because I'm going from the faux legalese that fake news media has infiltrated their trusty network and entrapped us into an interview that was taken completely out of context. And then I'd be leaning into life before.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make that a hindrance because only a few days have gone by, and I'm trying to like 180 almost.
Yeah. It looks a bit disingenuous for you to come around and do that. So you get the plot point for that.
So I'm gonna add my little plot point there. And I'm going to well, I don't know if there's help to be given.
Not on this specific instance. No, I don't think you can.
Okay,
call
cool.
foul.
Okay, then I'm just gonna roll.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
all right.
So, interestingly, and this is a place where we get a bit of this, gets a bit of the nitty gritty of the game. There's a way for you to spend a plot point and pull that D4 over into your total, while still having an effective D4 because you get a default D4 anyway. If you wanted to do that, you could raise it up to a 14, which would be a heroic success over what you need to beat, which is 9.
Okay, then I'm going to spend that plot point then. So I need to end roll, and I just need to roll a single D4, right?
No, it's added into your total.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you instead of assigning that D4 to your effect, what you're doing is assigning all 3 dice to your total, and then the game gives you a default D4 anyway for the effect.
Okay, got it.
But then what happens because of the heroic success though? Then it steps up.
Correct. Makes it a D6.
Awesome, yeah.
Okay, got it. So Sam's kind of on this show, and it's just like, look, John, you know me, the country knows me, our loyal listeners know me. I'm here in this organization to get to the bottom of it, to see what works, what doesn't, to chase out the stink. And, ultimately, are some of these folks odd, non-traditional choices for a program like this? Possibly. But then there's so much bureaucracy in the normal system right now that we need to look into, which was evident in Cortez City. The mayor's office was at a complete standstill, and so while I'm not convinced entirely yet of the validity of the Hammerhead mission, I'm also not yet convinced that it should just be written off because one of its star players had a few too many at a basketball game.
Very good. Yeah, again,
Someone actually slipped something in there. No way that just normal alcohol did that to me.
You're just in the background going, I got roofied.
Yeah, so and the response is pretty. You're quite impressed actually at Gannity's sort of things. He sort of you hear that sound in his voice of when his opinion has just been sort of surges to the left a bit, which is completely out of all stakes. You did a good job of getting this across. I guess he sort of factored in your potential money-making draw for his show. It doesn't really want to choose to be an antagonist this time, want to be on the side of it, and says more or less that we don't need fake news to make things worse when you've got you on the case to find the real dirt.
Absolutely, John. Look, we can trust what we see with our own eyes. Micah Johnston has been in our family's living rooms on Dancing with the Stars for multiple seasons now. I know my niece and nephew have grown up watching her. And that's the kind of person that you can trust, and the fact that she is spinning that fame into a public good, I think that's to be celebrated.
All right, so you get rid of one of those D6s. Normally it would step it down to a D4, but I take it out when that happens there. So you got rid of one of them, so now it's only a 2D6 ball. You've made a pretty significant difference to that. Very good. You want to nominate someone else to go next, or do you want the pool to go and have me absorb that D12 in there?
I think I'm curious. I think since naturally what Sam would then immediately do is just like stare at Twitter responses and stuff for the next hour and just doom scroll after an appearance. I think the pool needs to go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you are doing.
Let's take a swim.
All right, let's do it. So it's 2D6 and now it's D12. Good job. You're really making it fun on everybody there. So The pool makes Micah go next. I'm pushing it over to you as your next acting character. What do
Okay.
you do, Micah?
Did the pool go or no?
It did. It just went, and what it did, because when
It got
it's the
12.
pools go, it can attack you or it can get bigger. And one of the ways it can get bigger, it either steps up one of its dice by one, or it sucks in a complication from somebody and makes it a part of the actual crisis. So yeah, you went on the thing, and that was all very cool and everything else, and you handled that little part of it. At least for GNN now, are scaling back their own voice about it, but it's got out to the wider public, right? So now it's beyond GNN's control. They can also say, we were the first to correct ourselves on this, and it's not our problem that everything went absolutely insane, and now everyone is. Yeah.
Mellie, the thumbnail for this one is just canceled.
All right, so Micah, what kind of approach you want to take? You like I said, you've got some other computer networks. You can call in some old contacts. You can talk to people. Any approach would probably be good enough for you to try and tackle this social media.
Flourish is going to do the simplest of all the things and just I need my phone back, nesting doll. Can you hand me my phone? I just need to do one,
yes, okay.
one quick thing. Okay, so she opens up Twitter and she writes a tweet. And if any of you is following Dionne Warwick on Twitter,
Yes.
it is the most delightful, wonderful thing ever. So wholesome, but also so sharp and like honest and kind and shade. It's just great. So that's the kind of Twitter presence that Flourish has as well.
Yeah, you don't
So
tweet
she's
all
gonna-
the time, but when you do, it's momentous.
What's that?
Yeah, you don't tweet all the time, but when you do, it's always momentous and thoughtful.
Yes. Yes. So she tweets, I don't know what the problem is with having creative, interesting people saving people from disasters. If that's an issue, then I don't know. If that's a real issue that you're worried about, then you don't have real problems. That's what she says.
Oh, very nice. All right, let me roll and tell you how bad the crisis pool is going to be for you in this one.
Oh God, that's pretty high.
Oh, okay. No, I got a 13.
Yeah,
I have to pull
that's-
together something.
Okay. Well, social.
Yep.
I want to say crowd control.
I will let you have that because that is social media crowd control.
Right. Yes. If I can step that up, how would I do that?
You could probably step up your social by spending a plot point to make it a D10 because this is part of your old life that you're using. Your life
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And you can
Okay. And then
It's your
So-
life before probably is your distinction, right?
life before, to my advantage, right? Because I
Yes.
have a good public image.
Yeah, I would not do it to hinder yourself.
And then I'm wondering if I should ask for help.
Well, one
Maybe
thing
just a
Definitely help.
retweet. What's that?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I have a bunch of bot accounts that have been like, posting for years that can just do like mass retweets
Great.
and just get that out there.
Thank you so much. I will take that help.
Yeah, that's a D8.
Great.
that's useful.
All right. And let's see how I roll. How do I tweet? How well do I tweet? Oh no.
Well, the good news is
I
yeah.
thought those 7s were 1s. I saw 3 1s.
Oh, that's good.
So here's the down. Okay, we'll put it this way. I'm gonna spend because now that we've got a crisis pool, I have to spend dice out of it to make to activate hitches, right? And so I am gonna spend one of the D6 out of this pool to activate that hitch on you. You've got kind of this thing, unwanted attention now. You've got this unwanted attention and complication at a D6, which or D8, which is not really the best thing to have because now people are following you because of this crisis as opposed to your life and what you wanted to maintain. So maybe your follower count starts going up like crazy with people who were drawn in from this bot swarm that Nesting Doll had brought. Like, oh, why is Micah Johnson trending? Let's find out. Oh, cool. Let's tell her about all kinds of stuff that she doesn't want to see about. But the positive is that you did beat it with a 14. You beat 13, and your effect die was a D8, so you get rid of the other D6 that was in there. That just leaves a D12 in the pool to tackle, and that was a 2 at 1 go there. I think you did extremely well with that wholesome tweet. I don't think I ever would have imagined running a game where a Dion Warwick style tweet would take care of a crisis like this. This is actually kind of
Amazing.
This is what Cortex can let you do. Now that there's a D12 left in the pool, you do need to pick someone who can try and reduce that. It's probably unlikely you can get rid of it in one go. It might take 2 people because the one will step it down to a D10, maybe someone else, or maybe 3 people. So who do you want to have go next?
I'm wondering if actually this flurry of activity can be a good cover for Nesting Doll to do the thing that she was planning to do before.
Okay.
Put up that firewall, I think, for Aegis or whatever their name was. So, Nesting Doll, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What I might do here actually is, can we do asset tests during a crisis?
No, you make that mostly by helping people out. Like in a crisis, you can't really create an asset for it to help out. That's one of the things that we don't do. However, what we haven't mentioned is, like I said before, you can get up to 3 dice from an airdrop to come down and give you resources, which, resources, those dice add straight into a total as opposed to being rolled in the pool. So they have a good chance of helping you get like a heroic success if you wanted one, because they can roll up to D6 on each die. So you can call that in if you wanted to. It would probably be an IT network resource that you'd have airdropped. But are you sort of saying, I want to help someone else out? Is that what you were sort of suggesting?
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to like get something set up for somebody else, but if we can't do that, then I have another idea. But
okay.
So yeah, I am going to as that's all happening, I just have like my bots are automated, so they have this string that they're grabbing different words from to combine and make tweets, and that's all fine on its own. And meanwhile, I'm just working on basically just getting this this source of news, this reporter, just completely like their life's gonna be destroyed because I am just making them completely unbelievable. I'm like planting all this information in their social accounts and like going and like editing their photos and then like backdating them. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
this
ahead.
can't go wrong anywhere.
It's definitely not gonna go wrong at all. There's no risks here at all.
So glad that you're actually our social media manager.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is like Cortex community social.
Look, I don't know how to hack in real life, but I've watched a lot of movies
That's
where
what
they
somebody
do it.
would say that knows how to do that.
I'm on like season 3 of Mr. Robot right now, and it's
There you go.
There we go.
I see you, Zero Cool.
That's your mental.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What am I rolling against?
Oh yeah, I have to do my roll first. Sorry, you didn't want to see how badly it is. I got a 5. 5 on D12.
Ooh, okay. I feel good about this now.
Yeah, because you don't have anything weighing against you. There's nothing.
No, wait. I do. I have a D10 complication from earlier.
That's right.
When I was using
Let's
the
pretend
phone.
that didn't happen. I'll roll this
Yeah,
again
we
with a
can
D10 on
do
there.
that. Maybe you'll get 2
Makes
ones
it much more
instead.
interesting. If I do, I'll be upset. No, I got a 6.
You got 1 higher. Okay. Well,
Yep.
I think this should be okay.
And you thought I was getting rid of all my good things yesterday on that other game you were in. So okay, so you have to beat 6.
Great. Mental.
Mhm.
This is me. Is this still network specialist? I feel like this is still network specialist.
It is, yeah.
Perfect. I I think that I'm gonna hinder. My quirk is usually I'm about like I want to get secrets out, and this time I'm twisting that in a way that kind of doing it for the team. I'm gonna hinder that, and then I think I turn to Doolittle and just I want to like get her help on maybe helping fake these photos and making sure that everything like looks legit. Anything you can help with on that?
Yeah, I'm a let's see, 6 with nesting doll is dependable.
Well, that's something.
It is something. It's an extra die in there as maybe we take some shots in here of stuff we can add in. And once you Photoshop cupcakes and eggs, they kind of look like what we need. So, okay, this should be okay. I only need to get a 6. This is fine. This is fine.
You
What a
gotta try
pep
and get
talk.
hard-boiled cupcake to be a trending topic.
Oh my god, I got 2 hitches. I did get enough though.
Look
Oh
at
my-
those hitches.
Oh my god.
But an 11 is still a heroic success.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? This is going to sound awful of me, but I'm taking Nesting Doll out. I'm taking you out. I'm going to give you that. Oh, I can't unless I spin the thing. You know what? Yeah. Well, it's going anyway, so let's just have that happen. I'm going to activate that, take you out with this thing. What happens is you feel the last thing you're able to do is corral all your bots together and send out this amazing media type undercurrent crash. So this person's life is just hosed. Kelly Rodriguez now has got photos that incriminating photos. People who don't exist are coming out using this sort of a face software stuff that makes fake people who are saying, "Oh yeah, I remember what happened. She ruined my kid's life and did an expose on the," and it also backfills a lot of the stuff into the networks. It's horrifying what you've done, and also what the end result is that you suddenly get this crisis of like, hang on, what have I done? And you're out. That's it. You have to have a break. But the good news is, I guess the upside, that takes over all the air, the room and the air. All the air in the room is completely sucked out of it by that. And so the whole Scammerheads thing starts to slowly go down the trending list. You see the whole thing about Haymakers going haywire. No one cares anymore because they're using the footage of that interview as part of their ammunition against Kelly Rodriguez. And they just, yeah, her career is over. Gandhi even calls Butters up moments later and saying, what the heck? Until we started looking into it, we just thought she was some sports reporter who would be great. We didn't realize that she was so horrible. I'm going to commit the next 3 nights on this. And you're like,
I'm
just like kind of relax in my seat, but then open the window and I just throw out I pull like 3 more phones out of my coat and just drop them out of the Hummer.
Yeah. I'm like, as I'm talking to him, I'm just like eyeballing our openly weeping Russian hacker, which is always a horrible sign. I'm just like, yeah, I'm absolutely stunned. No comment. I'm finding out everything in real time, like as you do. But wow.
Yep. So the Humvee streaks off on the motorway away from a highway, I should say, since I'm sounding like another New Zealander, off to the highway and heads back towards the depot outside of Eugene. The ride back must be pretty interesting. What's it like for you there, Doolittle?
You're muted.
You're muted, champ.
Haha! Hit the button with my hip. It's obviously very awkward. Doolittle senses almost none of this, and is basically just kind of poking around and trying to see if anybody brought any of the snacks from the spread before.
Hank is kind of like ignoring her for a good bit, because it's like he just doesn't, it's too quiet and awkward. And then eventually he begrudgingly reaches inside his pocket and like wrapped in some of the packaging and napkins, he hands over some meat and cheese.
Oh, thank you. So why is everybody being weird?
Well, pretty much because nesting doll just ruined somebody's entire life.
Look, I have killed people before,
Oh,
and
really?
this is far worse. This is way worse than actually killing somebody. Oh my god. What did I do?
Wait,
Dropping that revelation into the car ride is also it's like
wait, who did you kill?
Just sort of go.
Yeah, what about Micah? What's your take on the ride back? Are you going to try and give anyone encouraging words, or are you just going to stay out of this?
Oh no, if in case you haven't noticed, Micah does not fix other people's problems. No. If you get yourself into something, you got to get yourself out. I will help save people, but PR disasters that you make for yourself, no. And she actually gives this speech in the Humvee. She kind of skips over the whole nesting doll thing. To I think she's kind of compartmentalizing that because she can't quite like mentally deal with the fact that we actually have, I guess, an assassin, a former assassin on our team. She's like, you know what? I can't even wrap my head around that right now. I'm not even gonna deal with that. But yeah, no, I don't fix people's problems. So Butters and Haymaker, if you're gonna talk to the press, you better know what you're doing, because people aren't gonna be able to always bail you out.
So listen, you only leave me one choice here.
To never talk to the press?
Well, no, I need to talk to them and set things right. Like, obviously.
Yeah,
no, you cannot do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote against that.
I mean, look,
I still have your phone. I still have your phone.
One thing you have discovered, though, is that currently, and this is because you sometimes do check your phone, Adam, or at least Mellie, you've been able to look and see this because of the whole ratings of things. Right now, Micah Johnston, Flourish, has more followers than anyone else on the team. Well, obviously, the other two who would have followers is Butters and Haymaker, but now she's eclipsed you by an order of about 10,000 people.
Yeah, genuinely, Haymaker actually doesn't care about that because at this point in time, and it's probably one of the reasons that he was willing to say what he said, because at this point in time, he's not as concerned about the celebrity itself. He's concerned about, like, yeah, it gets him into basketball games, but he doesn't really care about the opinion piece of that. He really is doing this to help people. And so he's going to come away with this definitely learning a lesson of sorts and understanding that the helping people is going to be hard to do if people don't trust or like you while you're doing it. So
very good. Butters?
Butters is sort of just again sitting next to new best friend nesting doll, and is just, I think, sort of like quietly conferring, because I don't think everyone else knows about everything she's found yet. But it's just kind of like, look, that was nasty, but considering what might be coming on the horizon, you did what you needed to do. There's a bigger picture.
This is why I left Russia, and I feel like I'm just doing same thing. It's not good.
Hey, look, I joined the Hammerheads because I was concerned that a KGB agent that left Russia had just joined, and I'm sharing peanuts and cheese in the back of a Humvee with you. So,
yep,
I appreciate that, Butterball.
And that
I give you a nuggie.
That does give you a, well, first of all, the telling off, which was leveled to the team by Micah, the obviously detached feelings of Doolittle, Butter's kind words to you, and of course Haymaker's willingness to step out and do something about this in Publix has settled your particular crisis at the moment, Mellie. Nesting Doll gets a sense, I guess you can decide how much of her worth on the group, but also the whole experience does lead to an interesting contact from the World Crisis Agency, who says, well, we need maybe to have a longer conversation about the WCA and the Hammerheads and how they portray themselves in the larger media. However, one thing that they did get out of this was a real sense that you have come together as a team to try and combat disinformation, and they want to place additional resources at your disposal in the future for helping you deal with any potential problems you may have with, shall we say, dark web assets. So as we leave it for the session, I'll turn it back over to Joe for the wrap up. But no, a dark horizon ahead for the Hammerheads, but maybe a sort of a partly win today, unless you're a sports reporter from Global News Network, in which case lights out for you.
You did not win.
Guys, that's our show. We hope you guys we hope you had a good time watching the Hammerheads deal with a Twitter storm run amok. That one was very unexpected. Cam, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for watching. The VOD drops on YouTube on Monday. Again, like, subscribe, comment over there. We really appreciate it. Congratulations if you want to book today. We want to thank our mods. I want to thank this group so much for playing. We're going to take a few weeks off for the holidays. We'll see you back in January for Roll and Keep. And stay safe, stay inside, blah, blah, blah. Hang in there. It'll all get better at some point. Thanks, guys.
Happy holidays.
I meant that to sound cheery. It was supposed to sound cheery.
Cheery.
Try eggs on a cupcake.